With a tragic passing and more, this is Pro Wrestling Central. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Mentioning what is important to her now as a WWE superstar, Charlotte Flair told USA Today, "How do I push myself as a performer to what I've done to the next step, and whether that means winning gold or not winning gold, I'm okay with that. I just want to challenge myself, because I do love this." When it comes to new details on the lawsuit All Elite Wrestling is facing, Ringside News wrote that AEW is about to keep battling legal drama, this time at the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. Kevin Kelly, legal name Kevin Foote, along with brothers Brandon and Brent Tate, collectively known to fans as the Tate Twins, have filed an appeal challenging the federal court decision that sent their lawsuit against AEW to private arbitration. The appeal was submitted Friday in the U.S. District Court for the Middle District of Florida, with the plaintiffs now seeking a formal review by the appellate court. At the heart of the appeal is a June 11th ruling from Judge Harvey Schlesinger, who upheld the arbitration clauses found in the plaintiffs' contracts with AEW. The judge determined that a delegation clause in the agreement meant all disputes, including whether the case even belonged in arbitration, must be handled privately, not in open court. The only issue being appealed is the arbitration portion of the order, attorney Stephen P. New told Post Wrestling, confirming that both Kelly and the Tates are on board. Although I think there are issues which intersect, such as whether or not defendants Khan and Riccaboni should be covered by the arbitration provision in those contracts. The original lawsuit, filed in 2024, includes allegations of breach of contract, defamation, and more. Kelly claims fellow commentator Ian Riccaboni falsely branded him as a QAnon supporter online, something Kelly says directly contributed to his AEW exit. The Tates, meanwhile, allege they were publicly defamed by AEW CEO Tony Khan during a press conference following their departure. Critics of arbitration procedures argue they often lean in favor of large companies, giving them a shield from public accountability. Because arbitration is confidential by design, it remains unclear if proceedings have begun or how far they've advanced. In his ruling, Judge Schlesinger said the plaintiffs failed to challenge the delegation language specifically and instead offered generalized objections that did not hold up legally. The appeal now places the case in the hands of the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, which oversees federal decisions from the Middle District of Florida. However, as of Friday night, the appellate court had yet to formally docket the case, something that typically takes a few days. As the legal mess plays out behind the scenes, this appeal could determine whether AEW continues fighting these claims in secret or if things finally go public. Touching on the relationship between TNA and WWE, TNA President Carlos Silva told Rewind, Recap, Relive, it's really an extension of what we do on the creative side every single week with Tommy and with Hunter, with Eric, the rest of our production team. But now working with Shawn Michaels down at NXT and Johnny Russo, we've all just gotten into a rhythm around what we're doing. We do just like we do with each other. We have an extension with them. They ask us questions. We work through issues. We try to understand the schedule, people getting where they need to be because, as you know, just the logistics of making sure that people are where they need to be on certain nights is a big deal. It's great having the Performance Center and being on CEW with NXT on Tuesday nights, and it's really been seamless and I'd say over the last 90 days quite easy and very team oriented, which is great. During that same interview, Silva said this regarding the possibility of AJ Styles returning to TNA. Look, maybe we got a little nibble there. If you saw the Open when Trick defended the belt down in Tampa, I think it was Battleground for NXT, they did an amazing Open. Our partners at WWE did an amazing Open with the history of TNA and where it's been, and AJ voiced that piece for us, which I thought was like a really cool, authentic way to present that 2-minute vignette on air, and it was really really great. Look, we'd love for those types of things to happen, whether it's AJ or others. I think that's all part of how we work through the partnership with them, and so far so good. I think it'll continue. As Cassidy Haynes of Bodyslam.net reported that AAA's Octagon Jr. had signed with WWE, Conan has now debunked this rumor, noting on Keeping It 100, "Yeah, the only guy that I asked was Octagon, and he wasn't, basically what he told me was no, right?" Disco Inferno replied, "Oh, he told you no?" Conan replied, "Yeah, I'm telling you the truth about that. I did ask Octagon." Staying on the topic of talent in AAA, Steve Carrier wrote this on X. Ringside News has learned that NXT has strong interest in bringing the Los Toxicas faction to WWE as a featured act on the brand. Following Liv Morgan's stalker incident, it appears safety has been a priority for women in wrestling, as AEW Women's Champion Toni Storm would be escorted by security at StarCast. Providing more information on Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch's home being broken into, Ringside News wrote that Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch were victims of a scary home invasion earlier this week. And now more shocking details are coming to light. According to updated information obtained by Ringside News, around $10,000 in cash was stolen from the couple's Southern California beach house during the break-in. The burglary occurred around 3 a.m. on Tuesday morning at their Playa del Rey property, just hours after both Rollins and Lynch were across the country performing on WWE Monday Night Raw in Providence, Rhode Island. Cops say the suspect or suspects forced entry through a rear sliding glass door, and thankfully no one, including their 4-year-old daughter Rue, was home at the time. Law enforcement confirmed Rollins was the one who placed the 911 call after discovering the crime. While the couple has shared glimpses of their beachside home on social media, there's currently no evidence to suggest that online posts led to the incident. Still, with roughly $10,000 in cash believed to be missing, the financial loss is no small hit. At this time, no arrests have been made yet in connection with the home invasion, and the investigation is still ongoing. Ringside News will continue to keep you updated as more information becomes available. This break-in is a harsh reality check that even top-tier WWE stars like Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch aren't safe from real-world threats. With $10,000 in cash gone and no arrests made, it's a reminder that fame can't buy security, especially when criminals know you're on the road. Talking about how WWE is flooding weekends with events to take away from AEW shows, Dave Meltzer said this on Wrestling Observer Radio. Even if it doesn't work, they're going to do the strategy. They're going to keep doing the strategy. It's a battle of attrition. They can be annoying and be annoying and be annoying and hold them back and hold them back. The thing is, again, up until recently, AEW had a very negative rep and WWE was the cool thing. I think that's starting to change, but WWE's goal was never to win this weekend. It's to wear AEW down over time, and the only way AEW loses is if they stop growing. Previously, former associate of Hulk Hogan, Bubba the Love Sponge, said this regarding Hogan: "I got some pretty reliable information. There are phone calls being made to various family members about getting to town to come say their goodbyes. My sources say it's complications from that neck fusion surgery." Those close to Hogan would then say this to TMZ Sports: "Hulk Hogan is not on his last legs. He's just dealing with more of the same ailments he's had for years. In fact, Hogan's back to moving around already." Now, Hulk Hogan's wife has addressed these rumors, writing on social media, "No, he's definitely not in a coma. His heart is strong, and there was never any lack of oxygen or brain damage. None of those rumors are true. We've been in and out of the hospital to support that recovery. So truly, there's no need for the drama or panic some people try to stir up. He's healing, and we are taking it one day at a time with love, strength, and patience." Criticizing WWE over John Cena turning heel, Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio, "You're going to do something that big with no idea where you're going next, and it's your main event program? That's bad booking. That's on the Booker of the Year, WWE had the chance with the Cena thing. Just compare the Cena turn and this. It's like, my god, there's no comparison whatsoever. I don't think they had a great story planned out. I think they just said, we are going to turn John Cena at the last minute because Rock wanted Cody Rhodes. The company didn't want Cody, and John Cena was kind of the booby prize. But we can do John Cena's never turned. Oh my god, so they do it. But there's no follow-up. Clearly, there's no follow-up. And so to me, that's just bad booking." Garrett Gonzalez added, "When it happened, everyone disagreed with you. Now everyone agrees with you. It got so much attention. But I was worried about the long term, and now, as it's played out, it's just like it didn't go anywhere." In some unfortunate news, a pro wrestler was shot, with Ringside News writing, "Tragic new details have emerged in the death of veteran pro wrestler Kevin Nickel, known to fans as Ivan Warsaw and Knuckles Madsen." According to the Benton County Sheriff's Office, Nickel was shot just after midnight Friday in the area of East Highway 12 near Rogers, Arkansas. Authorities say when deputies arrived at the scene, they found the 41-year-old wrestler bleeding from his abdomen. He was transported to a nearby hospital, where he later died. A man was shot and killed near Rogers early Friday morning, confirmed Lieutenant Shannon Jenkins, spokesperson for the Benton County Sheriff's Office. Jenkins added that the department is not releasing any further details at this time. Nickel had been involved in professional wrestling for 18 years. He worked across several promotions using the ring names Ivan Warsaw and Knuckles Madsen. In 2012 and 2013, he wrestled house show matches for WWE's NXT brand. His final documented match took place in July 2024. Dog Pound Championship Wrestling shared the following message on Instagram following Nickel's death. "NWA Texas is saddened to learn of the passing of Kevin Nickel, professionally known as Ivan Warsaw and Knuckles Madsen. His contributions to professional wrestling will never be forgotten. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family and friends during this time. Rest in peace." No additional statements have been released by authorities or Nickel's family at this time. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.